Hi, my name is Lauren Wingate, and I am the owner here at Wingate's Cake Design in Westport, Mass.
Hi, I'm Sophia Tevz. I'm 23 years old, and I'm the owner of Soph.
Okay, so first I will say I went to UMass Dartmouth. Had no idea what I wanted to do. I think I was in humanities and social sciences. Then, ironically, I switched to business. Hated it so much. Switched back to humanities. So I ended up having to do 5 years because I switched majors. Graduated, still had no idea what I wanted to do. I worked at a medical spa for 7 years. I was the office manager. Then I started to do cakes, just like random for like my friends. The office, birthdays in the office and things like that. And then I was doing a birthday cake and cupcakes for my friend Claudine, who lives in Westport too, for one of her daughters. It was awful. It was a Hello Kitty theme. This is the one that I was like, oh, why don't I do this for a living, even though it was awful. And it was so funny. I was living in New Bedford and the tiny, tiny kitchen apartment in the apartment. Oh my God. Yeah, and that's when I was like, ding, 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 why don't I do this for a living? So that was in July of like 14 years ago now. And then I looked into it, started in August. Like it was very quickly. So I went to JWU, Baking and Pastry Arts. Yeah, happened all very, very quickly. But I knew, when you know, you know. And yeah, did the 2 years of associate's degree there, baking and pastry. Met a lot of awesome people. It was a CE program, so we went only on Sundays, and we were all older. So we all had our jobs during the week, and then we would go on Sundays. So it'd be 7 a.m., 7 p.m. every Sunday, yeah. So we trauma bonded, and we're still all very good friends, and a few of them have businesses. My good friend Aura has Aura's Chocolate Bar in Cranston, if you've heard of it. She's a chocolatier, very delicious Venezuelan chocolates. But yeah, so we are still very good friends, and then everybody else kind of placed around the US. But yeah, that is my story, how I came to be here. And then, yeah, graduated, worked at, a few other bakeries for a couple years. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out on my own, and had no idea what I was doing. And then I started out just in the back here, just that one room, like the office room in the kitchen. That was it. Then we ended up knocking down this wall, and I took over the front as well. But yeah, it's been a ride. And well, the most awful part was the cupcakes. I don't know if you've seen those, like they're sugar sheets, but you can print on them, and they have like designs, and people like put them on cakes or whatever. So they were cupcake ones. And these things were not peeling off the paper. They came on and they were ripping to shreds. And I'm calling my friend Claudine saying, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And she's like, I don't care. It's a 3-year-old's birthday party. It doesn't matter. And it was just that, I don't know. It was a horrible moment, but I was like, why don't I do this for a living? I don't know what clicked in my head, but I still loved it. Even though it was awful in the moment, I really liked it. Rather than doing a desk job. Yeah, I could never go back to working desk jobs. I make my own hours. I come and go when I want. I take the orders and weddings that I want. And yeah, I'm very lucky. I put a lot of hard work in, but I'm also lucky that I love what I do. And yeah. So I've worked in a lot of small businesses. So I have a lot of experience. I worked at the Muddy Moose or Moose Cafe now in Tiverton. I started out there when they opened. So I learned a lot from Sarah and Mark, the owners there. Yeah, we opened, like I was there the day they opened, and I was there for I don't know how many years. So I learned a lot from there. And my father he was a photography business. So he owned his own business. So I learned a lot from him. And then I worked at that medical spa being the office manager. So I kind of had a lot of just the perfect experience to start my own business in food baking. But yeah, considering I hated business at UMass Dartmouth. And I don't use anything from college there. I used what I learned at Johnson & Wales. But yeah, so I definitely learned a lot in working in small businesses my whole life. Since I was in my 20 years. But yeah. And I love decorating wedding cakes. But no, I think I had a couple that first year. I opened in September 2016. I think I had 1 or 2 weddings like that year. But no, it was a lot of taking just regular, normal birthday cakes and the cakes that I hate doing now, like, oh, Spider-Man cake and, all that stuff. They do take longer than wedding cakes. So I had to do a lot of that before it really kicked in with weddings. But it's a lot of hard work. I had to go around to all the wedding venues everywhere, offer tastings, spend a lot of time just making good relationships with wedding venues and wedding planners, and yeah.
So I was in cosmetology school back in 2019. I had stopped when COVID came around. I started an earring business online, and then I decided to go back to school like 3 years later. And then as I was finishing school, I was like, this is not what I want to do. I just kind of wanted to go back to finish it. So I was on the way to finish it, and I did finish it, but I got a text from a friend who owned this place before, and she had told me that a unit, like, she was leaving. So it was open, and she knew that I had the dream of like opening a boutique if that was in the cards for me. So she was like, I'm going to be leaving. If you want it, it's yours. The space is yours. So with that being said, I ended up full sending it. And after finishing school, I started the business on January 3rd. And then I got the keys February 15th. And then I opened 23 days later on March 9th. And growing up in a bigger body, it was always hard to find clothes. So it was always something that was like on the back burner growing up of wanting to open a boutique that was size inclusive. But I kept saying to like my family and friends, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. So I decided to open a boutique. And yeah, I think it was always like a far thought, that it was very far-fetched for me. And then as I got older, I found my style, and I was finding my like true style and fashion sense. And the thought of being able to have that as a space for girls growing up that I didn't necessarily have is so great, and it like fills my cup and almost heals my inner child knowing that. So I love when people come in here and they say like, oh, I never had this growing up. Like, I love that I have it now. I love that I have a daughter or a niece or whoever that is able to have that now. So that really like makes my heart happy. And yeah, so I started in 2019, like fresh out of high school. When I started, that was what I wanted to do. And then after COVID started, they moved it to online. And I was like, I'm not going to learn a hands-on trade online. So I decided to drop out, and I started a earring business online like 2 weeks before COVID started. So I was kind of doing that for like 2 weeks. Then school shut down. So then I had all the time in the world to focus on the earrings and that business. And I think I got a peek of like what life could look like if I owned my own business like that. And I kind of fell in love with it. So the dream of being a hairstylist kind of like faded away. And then I met my best friend in cosmetology school. So after 3 years of us not going to cosmetology school, we sat down at dinner and we were like, we need to finish because we paid. We should just have it on our tool belt in case we ever need it. So we ended up going back together, finishing it together. We finished on the same day. So I'm grateful for cosmetology school because I feel like the butterfly effect, it wouldn't have happened the way that it has if I didn't do that, and I wouldn't have my best friend if I didn't do that. But definitely not my favorite kind of school. So 2 weeks before COVID started, I think I went on Pinterest and I was like, ways to make more money, because I was in school, I was like 18, and I was like, I want more money. So I looked it up, and AC Moore at the time in Dartmouth was closing. So I went there, and they had like a huge sale on clay. So I got clay, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to try to do this. And then I tried to do it, and it kind of worked. Now looking back, it didn't, because they were not the cutest, but then they evolved over time and it was good. But at the time I had posted that I was selling them. I think I was selling them for like $6 a piece back then. And then people I went to school with wanted them, and I would like bring orders to school and all that stuff. And then when COVID hit, I was like, okay, now I have all my time. And I was working at a bakery at the time. I stopped working there, and I created my website during COVID. So I think it was June 4th, I started it in 2020. And then I started doing pop-ups once the world started to open again. And yeah, it kind of became more than what I ever thought it would be. So it was really fun while it lasted. And then when I decided to do this, I decided to step away from that, obviously, because it was just very time consuming. But yeah. And yeah, so I do events. I'm open Wednesday to Saturday for like normal store hours, and then I'll do events usually like after normal store hours. So like tomorrow, actually, we have a yoga class here. So I'll move the racks to the sides and then host. I have mats in the back. I'll like put mats out, and then we do a yoga class. Someone, usually a guest instructor, comes in and they'll teach the class, and then afterwards we'll do like a sip and shop if people want to shop afterwards. So I like doing events like that. I also host pop-ups. Permanent Jewelry is here a lot. I have a candle business. Well, not me, but one of my friends has a candle business. She's here a lot. Florals. And then in the summer, I'll on Sundays do like Sunday at Soph, I call it. And that's like an outdoor vendor market. So people will bring, yeah. So everyone on this side of the building is closed on Sundays. So I'm able to use like this side of the building. So yeah, I'll put like cones out, and then everyone has a tent, and it's just kind of like a little vendor market.
My favorite place in Westport. Okay, it's seasonal. So in the summer, definitely Bayside. If you can get in there, drinks at Bayside, have a little appetizer, right by the beach. Love that. And then Westporter too, more so Westporter in the winter when it's not like beach season. But those are my top two places: Westporter and the Bayside.
I'm trying to think. I like Horseneck Beach. I feel like in the summertime I'm always there. Horseneck Beach, Gooseberry. Is Gooseberry's technically Westport too? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Horseneck Beach and Gooseberry.
I'd move to Key West. It's my favorite place ever. And no, I've been the last couple of years trying to figure out how I can either start a business there or just take wedding cake orders there and like fly them down there. Because I have this thing is called a cake safe. It's a plexiglass, I can show it to you after, plexiglass box. It's insulated. I have all different sizes. So there's a center rod that you stab down through the whole cake. It goes out through the bottom. So you can get into a car accident. You can drop this thing. The cake's not going anywhere, and it's perfectly intact. But they fly wedding cakes on airplanes, and I really want to do that. But no, if I won $1 million, I mean, I'd need more than $1 million. If I won the lottery, it would have to be more than $1 million. I want to start a business in Key West, too. Trying to figure out how to do it. It's so expensive down there.
If I won the lottery, I'd probably buy a house first. I would make sure my mom is taken care of. I'd probably buy her a house. And I'd probably buy a physical place, like my own physical place for this, and be able to like do a full build out and have everything I've ever dreamed in it. And go on vacation and buy myself a new car. And if I had like unlimited budget, it would be a standalone building with like huge windows, lots of sunlight. I would think it'd be like 2 floors, bottom half is the boutique and keeping like this part of it. And the top floor would be more of like an event space / yoga studio kind of thing. And it would just kind of double the opportunity for like events and all the stuff that I'm already doing, just on a bigger scale. I think Westport is very quiet and quaint, but I think that there's little pieces of fun within it. So I think that being a part of those little pockets of fun is cool. And I think everyone's super nice. It's a very homey feel to it. I love Wild Honey Cafe. That's like one of my favorite coffee shops in the area. I love the plaza here. Everyone in the plaza is so much fun. The Westport Fair, that happens from time to time. That's really fun. Yeah.
Unique to me. Right now, I do see a lot of small businesses opening up, and I love that. We need more small businesses. There's a little cafe and bakery that just opened up right down the road there till dusk. But yeah, I love seeing new small businesses open. But I also wish we would be able to open up businesses by the beach and by the water. And it's like not permitted. I don't know why, but that's the number one thing I feel we would get more business to, like the village. And because in the winter, everything's just completely dead. No tourists, it's very touristy. The summer. I keep touching that. Yeah, I wish there were more small businesses that could open up more towards the beach and towards the village there, because there's nothing there in the winter. Like in the winter, it's just like dead. So, but I am seeing a lot of small businesses open up now, and yeah, I like that. Okay, so unique. I love that it's like a beachside town, but also it has like very businessy out here. Yeah, it's kind of like two little worlds. You can, even in the summer, like tourist season, you can be out here and it is normal. Then you try and go into Westport and towards the beaches, and it's like New York and the Hamptons or something in the summer. But yeah, I like Westport. I'd love to move back to Westport eventually.
I think it offers something that not a lot of people have had in the past. I think there's definitely like other boutiques in the area that are great. I just think that we're the first ones to kind of approach it in the way that I have. Here we don't have any plus size racks. We don't have any petite racks. I offer alterations if something's too big, too long, whatever the case may be. So I think there's a lot of like options, and the events have like created such a community here that it's not even, if it's a boutique, but that's such a small part of it. I think the community is huge. So I think that we've offered something that was kind of lacking in Westport and in like the South Coast area in general, especially to the people that are in a bigger size range. I think that that's something that has not been around really, unless it's like a department store. And most times when you go to a department store, at least back then, now it's improving, but the styles of plus size clothing is so different than like styles of smaller clothing. And I think we should all be able to wear cute clothes. So I think that it's just offered that part of fashion community that the age range and like the female demographic has been lacking in the area, which I love. And it's way more than just the clothes. Like I love that part of it. I love the shopping. Like I get my shopping fix when I shop for the store. But it's fun to host events like that. And I'm in my yoga teacher training right now. So eventually I finish at the end of the month. So the goal is to start teaching my own yoga classes here in addition to all the other ones that I've brought in, because I love that aspect of it. And like thank you. So I was saying before, like I love when all of my interests can like mesh together. And I feel like I wouldn't love it as much if it was just a boutique. Like I'm able to add in like different vendors that I love at the moment, or a vision board party. Like I wouldn't be able to do that if, well, I could do that like at my house, but like it's just fun to like mesh all my interests together in one space and see how like everybody receives it.
So I mostly just do weddings and custom French macarons. I do French macaron orders, so people can order that at any time. But we still do the holidays. So this weekend we're doing Easter, where you can walk in and buy like bakery style. We'll have the case filled up with French macarons, key lime pies, and all that. So we do Easter if I don't have weddings, which I have one, but it's not big. But so we do Easter. Valentine's Day was really big this year. Christmas, Thanksgiving, those are large. And then the other ones are kind of hit or miss it's wedding season. So 4th of July, I will or won't, depends. And then Memorial Day, sometimes I do. And then Mother's Day and Father's Day, it just all just depends if I have weddings that weekend. But you can always count on the holidays here. Getting your carrot cake and your Yule logs. So many. I really have the best like brides and weddings. Everyone asks me, "Oh, have you had a lot of bridezillas?" And no, I really haven't. Maybe did like one the whole like 9 years. Like it's been good. I haven't had one in a while, but brides who email like a million times or like 5 times in a row, like in a day. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like red flag number 1. Or, okay, this is not a bride, but during COVID, people were like nutty. You'll probably have to bleep this out. People were crazy. So it would be like a mom would be ordering like a 1-year-old's birthday cake, and it would be going on for days, emailing back and forth for days and days. And I'm like, oh my, it would be like a week by the time she figured out like which details she even wanted on the cake. And I'm remembering this specific one, and it was so bad, just so many red flags. And I'm like, okay, I think, and it took so long that we were now booked on that day. That's how long it took her. It was like it must have been like 2 weeks. It was over a week. I'm like, all right, we're not available anymore. And she flipped out. That's what people were crazy. Then they go straight to Google and like and leave you bad reviews. And it's like, you didn't even order anything. But yeah, red flags like that. And I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't do that cake, because it would have never been perfect. You know what I mean? It's those people that you can just tell you're never going to be able to do you can't see what's in their head and what they're thinking, and you're never going to be able to make them happy. And I can just tell from all those emails, and like I'm never going to make the cake that you really want, and you're going to be disappointed, and you're going to go leave a bad review anyway. So I'm not even going to go there. But this summer we did ice cream sandwiches, French macaron ice cream sandwiches, big ones. This man came back in here, and he wasn't an old man. He was, I don't know, in his 40s, late 30s, 40s or something. Comes back, I wasn't out front, comes back in, throws the ice cream sandwich back down on the counter at poor Alyssa at the counter, and is like, this is too big and it's too hard, it's too frozen, I can't eat it, it's too big. And we were like, what are you talking about? It's an ice cream sandwich. It's frozen. And we're like, sir, came out of the freezer, just like any other ice cream. Wait 3 minutes and you can eat it. Like he was out of his mind, like the crazy eyes, where I was like about to call the police because he wouldn't leave, and the other customers in here were like getting him. It was mad. It was all things like that during COVID. It was crazy.
One of my frequent customers brought her niece into the store, who was, I would say, probably like 10 to 13 range, maybe younger, I don't know. But she came into the store and like shopped around. I honestly don't even remember what she ended up getting, but I remember the message afterwards just being like, thank you so much. Like, I'm so glad that she gets to grow up in a world where like there are places like yours where she feels welcome. Like any kind of messages that I get or people just there saying stuff like, thank you, this is something that we needed, like that just fills my cup and like makes me feel like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing a good job, and kind of lifts me up when I'm maybe feeling a little bit down or anything like that. I do feel very supported by like my community here and the businesses around. Like me and a lot of the businesses in Westport have collabed, and there's so many people from the area and around here that have supported and shared. And I wouldn't be able to be where I am in the business and have lasted this long if it wasn't for the people that have shared it. So I definitely feel supported in it. And so I've collaborated with Her Sienna, which is the permanent jewelry person that I tend to bring in here. Linked by Lily is another permanent jewelry girl that has come here. I'm trying to think of the other ones that are in Westport actually. Wild Honey has been here for an outdoor vendor market. They served honey. Wild Honey has been here for an outdoor vendor market, so they served coffee here. A bunch of people have done like pop-ups here, which is nice.
Definitely, yes. I would not be here during COVID if I didn't have this community. I didn't close at all, so the community really like lines out the door every day that we were open during COVID. So thank you, Westport, for that. I wouldn't have been able to stay open, but we did, and it was the busiest years I've ever had here were during COVID. Just craziness. Lines out the door. Every day we were open to the parking lot. Yeah, that was a crazy time, but much appreciated. So it's like PTSD. It's coming back. So it first happened. Oh, I mean, the worst part was the canceling of the weddings. That was where I was hit big. Everyone canceling their weddings. Some of them just went to smaller, like micro weddings and didn't cancel, which was great. Some of them like opted to reschedule for the year after. So it wasn't like I was losing money. It was just like put off. There were a couple of, I almost swore. Couple of crazies that we had for like canceling and all the deposit, all of that stuff. So that was craziness. All like we have contracts, which upheld. Thankfully, mine kind of had everything in it already. But yeah, nothing went to court. It all worked out. But yeah, COVID, it was the canceling of the weddings was the worst part. I actually had to hire more staff because it was more bakery. So we had to have front counter people. We had to have more bakers. So I had decorators. I don't know, like 3 or 4 baking and decorating. Me, a couple counter people, or 3. I don't know. Yeah, it was a lot. Then as the wedding slowly started to come back, then it got to be a lot of just too much. It was like kind of running a catering, like wedding business, and also running a bakery. And it's just, me, I'm the only owner trying to do all this, and I was losing my mind. So I was like, you know what? Well, first I just shut down like the walk-ins, and you could still pre-order and pick up on like a Saturday. Then that got to be too much because I do wedding tastings on Saturday. So if we're open 10 to 1 for pickups, I can't do tasting. It got to be too much. But yeah, COVID, it was a ride. I just kind of putting it out of my mind. I'm like, what actually happened? Was it a dream? Was it a nightmare? We got through it though. And that was the busiest I ever was. But I'll take this over any day. I will take being sane and happy over making tons of money. I love my sanity right now. I'm in a happy place. It's controlled chaos.
I think I would say to do it scared, because I don't think you're ever going to be like fully ready. I'm the kind of person that whenever I get an idea, I need to execute it like damn near immediately. So I think that could be a flaw, but it also can be a strength because I still do it regardless of how nervous it makes me. Like, I taught my first yoga class here yesterday with like a few friends, and I was genuinely terrified, but I still did it. And I think you are so much more confident in yourself when you do things scared, when you do it regardless of how nervous and anxiety ridden it is. So I would definitely say just do it.
Don't do it. No, I'm kidding. I will say it was a challenge opening up a food. So there is a difference. Food businesses are way harder to open than just, oh, I want to open up a shop with selling hats or something, you know. It's just like, okay, go get your license and you're good. It was pretty difficult. Just like working with the town, the Board of Health, it's like the fire marshals, like you have to have so many people come in here, inspect, just like getting insurance and getting all the right build out in the kitchen and the plumbing. It was craziness. So it probably took us, we started in April or May and I didn't open until September. So that long to open up a food business that wasn't a kitchen before. So we had to make the kitchen. But yeah, it was tiring. Advice. You need strength. You need to just be persistent, I guess.
Oh God. I want to say yes, but I don't know if we'll ever get there, considering the state of the world right now. That's all I got.
What? The rate we're going? No. Sad face. No, I feel like it just keeps getting worse. Maybe we need a woman president. I don't know. Single word. Beach. That's what I love. The beach. Cherry and Webb. But I have to come and steal my parents' car to use it.
I would say cozy.
Have you watched Nailed It, the baking show? Jacques Torres, he's a French pastry chef or chocolatier, but he's one of the hosts on the show, and he has his own place in New York too, like shop. But he's also like really funny, and I'm like, I would love to just spend a day learning from him. Jacques Torres. Cool. They call him Mr. Chocolate. His shirts, his coats say Mr. Chocolate. And I hate baking shows except for Nailed It, because Nailed It, it's people that suck so bad at baking, they come to compete to be the best of the worst. That's what it is. Yeah. But also the other host is Nicole Byer. She's a comedian. She's so hilarious. So yeah, I don't like regular baking shows because they're not real. Yeah. I used to watch them, even Cake Boss. It's just so, like, they add in drama when stuff is not even happening. But like the baking shows now, the contests and all that, like I've been asked to go on them and I'm like, no. Plus they shoot them in the summer and I'm like, I can't leave my business. But it's just not real. They're like taking cakes out of the oven and they're frosting them right away. And I'm like, none of this is real. Like, it's not. Yeah, I don't like them. The only one that I love is the Great British Baking Show. Because it reminds me of school at Johnson & Wales. You see all the failures and you see all the other contestants like helping that poor someone whose stuff is falling and they all come to help them. Like, that was exactly my experience in school, so that's why I like that one. But it shows every real thing that can go wrong. And it always will. That's the thing about being a pastry chef. Number one thing is it's not being a great pastry chef. It's learning how to fix mistakes and hide mistakes. That is how you are a great pastry chef, because it's going to happen. You might have a list of what you want. I have lists every day. I make lists when I go to bed, and I never even look at it the next day, but the list that I write down here, and like I know this isn't how it's going to happen, but at least you have your list down. It's what they teach you in school, but school it was like way more. This 10 minutes I'm doing this. In the next 30 seconds I'm doing dishes. Like, you had to like time it out like that, but it's never going to go. Something is always going to go wrong, and it always does. You have to know how to be quick. Oh, I can fix this. How do I fix this? That's what a great pastry chef, I feel like, is. And I don't really burn stuff, but just something, or you forget to add an ingredient or something. You're like, oh, what can I use this for now? Like, I never throw anything out. Never. I barely have any waste. If something doesn't come out right, I'm like, I'll use it for something else. Or maybe we have burned cookies and we're like, what the heck can we use this for? Oh, we'll make it a cheesecake crust. You know what I mean? It's like learning how to use your mess ups to do something better with it. Having no food waste, really. But yeah, the mess ups. Just like so many. I mean, if you make wedding cakes, there's a front and a back to that cake. Anything can happen. You can just be walking by the cake, or you're spinning it and your spatula is just a little too close on something and it makes a little ding. We have what we call, sometimes you just keep punching cakes all day long. It happens and you have to keep fixing them and everything will go wrong. Oh my God. I remember just like frosting a wedding cake. It's perfect. And then you go to like take all your dishes or something and something hits it. It happens all the time. All the time, just stuff like that. That's the back of the wedding cake. Put a flower there. You learn how to hide things. You're like punching wedding cakes. Your hand you're like, oh, someone talks to you, you turn and like you hit it all the time. Punching wedding cakes.
This is gonna sound so sappy, but probably my dad. I really miss my dad, so it'd probably be him.
Missing. I feel like I just wish more small businesses would open up in like the Village area and down. I wish we could open up businesses by the beach and by the water. It would just bring in so much more revenue for the town, and I think that we would benefit from that. But yeah, other than that, I don't know.
I definitely think we could use more like restaurants and bars, fun things to do. I love like the bars in Dartmouth, New Bedford, and I feel like we could definitely use more of that around here. Because I would love to leave work and like go out for a drink or a meal with my friends, but there's not really much around here, so I would definitely enjoy that more.